Guys, thanks for joining us. Today we've got an interesting little test.
Absolutely.
A little trip down memory lane where we're going to compare a real classic driver, Matty.
Yes.
Something that was of its day the best sort of available at the time, fully 15 years ago.
That's how long it was?
That's how long it was, where the Taylormade, the R510TP, classic driver that so many of you will be watching going, loved my R510.
I had one of those, like everyone's going to say that.
Absolutely. Right? I remember at the time as a young assistant pro, I wanted to play this driver so badly.
Yeah.
I loved the look of it. Even the head cover, the red, yellow and grey sort of large head cover. It was so, you could really notice it, and I loved it. It wasn't the one for me though. I used to always try it, and the R580 was the more forgiving one, was really good for me.
Right.
So we thought we would do a little test where we compare the best of yesteryear to today's
modern day equivalent, right?
Yeah,
modern day equivalent would
from
be
the
M3.
same company.
Yeah.
And obviously see what the 15 years of sort of R&D and sort of development of the product is what it offers.
What does it do in the real world in terms of hitting a ball on the golf course, and what are you giving up by using something older? I think we've all played with the person that might be sort of just a lover of sort of classic stuff. Right. Maybe they drive a bit of an older restored car. They like a little bit older golf club. There's that guy. Everyone
has their favorite classics.
That's the one I want to keep. Or it's the person who just hasn't updated their bag in a long time, or maybe they've been away from golf for 10 years. They've come back.
And coming back to it.
They've got good stuff.
A great point.
But it's old, right?
We get that player in here all the time. The player that's returning after a hiatus due to maybe starting a family, the career was just taking off, and they had to just really put themselves head first into that, and golf was no longer a priority. Now they're sort of they're come up for air, so to speak, and they're looking at the golf industry and going, I don't recognize
these drivers
anymore.
Well, you wouldn't, would you? Like if you look at that and you look at this, you said it when you were warming up, and you said this is like 3-wood size practically.
Yeah, I mean, and this was a big driver. This was
their standards, wasn't it?
It really was at the time. Deep head and kind of sort of big driver. But now looking at today's footprint of drivers, it's tiny.
I mean, you put them side by side, it's almost maybe it doesn't show as well on the screen, but holding them in your hand, I think the face depth, as you say, that's a very deep face driver.
Deep driver.
So maybe in that respect, kind of comparable, but look at heel to toe and just in every other respect, it's so much different looking.
Right.
Sounding, feeling, and everything like that.
Definitely. Big differences. So we're going to put it through a test. Let's see what it does. Yeah. Let's see how the ball speeds hold up, the miss hits hold up. We've got some stickers on there. We're going to really analyse that. And I think that'll be the big one for me, will be how does it deal with the miss hits from 15 years ago? How does the MOI stack up against today's MOI? Multi-material, all titanium. These are the sorts of things that we're looking at. This is a Speeder 757 shaft, a real classic shaft by Fujikura. We've got the TPT 15 LKP in there, which is what I play. Yeah. We're really going head to head against the best of the best at that time.
At the time, exactly.
So this will be a really interesting one.
Okay, well let's get your thoughts.
Let's put it to the test.
You're going to start with the classic?
Yep, we're going to start with this. So we're kind of trying to obviously standardize the on-course sort of performance, speed, not driving range speed. This is trying to kind of standardize, what we would see in the golf course. You're out there trying to hit some fairways and see kind of what the ball is going to do when hit with a club that is. It's funny to say something is outdated when it's not made of wood or anything like that. Yeah. But the amount of advancement that's been made, maybe not in 1 or 2 years, but when you look at 15 years, absolutely, it's half a generation of kind of club design. It's quite incredible looking down at the profile, just the volume difference. Yeah. It's massive. The difference is literally massive between sort of a G400 Max, for example, the footprint of something like that. Yeah. Something like this. I mean, you feel like you could fit 2 of these inside a G400 Max. I mean, how many years has 460 been standard for? It's got to be 8 or 9. Something like that? At least, yeah. Maybe more? Probably more. I mean, I know certainly, yeah, I mean, Taylormade, obviously, for example, you know, their R7s, they were sort of, they came out the R7 440, the R7 460, and then it was starting to evolve. Then it was just kept creeping up and up, and as they found that they could get the same performance out the bigger head with the forgiveness, it blended into one, didn't it?
Gotcha.
All right, let's have a hit and see what we've got. Smooth a couple, and then we'll maybe hit a couple a little harder.
All right.
Hit it okay?
Strike felt okay?
That is incredible.
So it's certainly not getting out there as far as I know you can hit it.
285, I mean, nice and straight, no issue on the straightness element.
So you hit it 17 millimeters in the toe, which is not very much. Despite what the graphic shows, 17 millimeters is the measurement.
Yeah.
So not too bad of a strike.
Yeah, I mean, I've got the stickers are fairly close to the center here, so that's probably just out here somewhere. That's probably just snuck in the toe a little bit.
More than acceptable hit, I would say.
Yeah,
and
not too bad.
Your ball speed is a solid 10 plus what I'm used to seeing you hit.
Yeah,
lower, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah,
60,
like
162-ish.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
All right. That's an early indicator. Certainly online, though.
Maybe there's a good reason I never used this driver.
Sound a little bit better?
Felt quite similar. Quite a little toy again.
Yep. Not the worst place to hit a driver, I guess, if you're a hair. Oh, actually, measured it slightly on the heel. I mean, it's important to say it's going to be so. That face is not very long to have a difference in strike, is it? 6 millimeters heel and 3 low is more or less the center.
Okay.
You're 154 ball speed there.
Crazy.
On pretty much a middle hit.
Be a little more down the right, but it was a fairly solid one.
Good hit. It's funny, it looks, I don't know, you just expect to look up and see the ball trickling out 310, and it's just a 25 yards or so short every time, isn't it?
That was quite well hit, that one, Matty.
Yeah,
that was
really well hit.
Not too bad.
So again, your strike is within 10 millimeters of the center of the face, which is very, very close to perfect.
Okay.
155.
As good as I got.
Not much, is it? Sounded pretty good to me too.
They're all coming out quite similar.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're all coming out.
That's your longest one for sure.
Yeah, I've kind of chased that one a little bit, haven't I? You know, spun it lower and chased it out there a little bit.
And that's probably the only way you could get up to your normal yardage, just to hit one like that, isn't it? Where you sort of hit a low spinner.
273, I mean, you really need to be some favourable conditions to be getting 33 yards a run.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Your delivery and everything is good and neutral and pretty much the way you usually swing it. But 100, you've been kind of around 110 or so miles an hour.
That's the interesting thing for me is, like, you know, even with, I can understand the ball speed being down, but even the club head speed is down, which is an interesting one.
Yeah.
So we'll be curious when, well, maybe it's just the way today is.
Might just be, but even if you took 110 as how you're swinging it today, you'd expect to see 160 plus out of that
you would.
On a decent efficiency rating.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, give us one more. How's it feeling generally? Does it feel a little strange?
It feels okay. I mean, they all feel like where they're showing. I know that one they showed a little heely. Didn't feel it. Felt fairly toey. They all feel as if they're all
on the toe side.
Just right here. Just toe of center, which is fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
You know, just turn it back a little bit.
Probably one of your better ones of the bunch.
It felt great. It really felt nice. It's just funny to see it not go anywhere.
I know. Yeah, so a little low on the face.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
honestly, like, those are reflective of how tight those markers are. Those are a little better than that.
They're way better.
We've snuck the stickers in a little bit.
Well, you're 6 millimeters low, which I'm sure you couldn't actually detect looking at a face of a club 6 millimeters.
Yeah, exactly.
So those are pretty close to middle hits, and that was probably your fastest one, I think, was 150, 154.6 is as fast to the ball speed as you got.
Interesting, isn't it?
13 launch, 2600 spin. So if that's kind of, take that last one as probably your peak on a normal hit.
Yeah.
All right, let's get you going with something a little newer.
Okay.
So that was the end of your little trip down memory lane with the R510.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, you hit some decent shots. It's not like you didn't hit any good shots.
Wasn't horrible, was it?
No.
There were nice little draws. That's the shape I kind of hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too bad if you're just kind of trying to find some fairways and that sort of thing. But the interesting thing with that is you could probably pull that out the cupboard, go play it, and think that that's okay. Go, oh, the ball flight's quite nice. You know, go play your course. Without putting up against today's tech, you're really not going to know the biggest difference there, are you?
And I think also illustrating for everyone where you were striking those, the millimeter ratings would tell me that you were not much off of this center groove pattern there.
Yeah, I would say those toe grooves of the center circle.
Yeah, were at your worst strike.
That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, so you probably didn't even really dive into the full issue with these, which would be forgiveness. Mm-hmm. You hit one down there on this club, I can imagine you're hitting it absolutely nowhere. Yeah. So that's something that is an important consideration beyond, like, you hit a good one and you want to be out there as far as you can. Exactly. Let alone hitting a bad one, right?
All right, let's take a look at fast forward 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, that was pretty well hit. It wasn't perfect, but it was pretty well hit.
Smile's different already, isn't it? Yeah, so you're already, even if that wasn't your best strike, you're already up, 5.5 miles an hour. Same club head speed. A lot less spin, too. That was just under 2,000.
Way less spin, isn't it?
That was, you basically hit that dead center, because you were only 3 millimeters toe and dead center vertical, so a lot of pickup in ball speed off a center hit. I think that's the biggest myth to me, and I hear people say it all the time, is if you take an older driver like the R510 and you hit it dead in the center, which you did a couple times, you take that one, hit it dead in the center, there won't be any difference. I'll hit them the same. It's just forgiveness. It's clearly not true. Yeah. 5 miles an hour is a ton.
It's a lot.
And what was that? Ended up maybe 25 yards further. That's not nothing.
And that was, that's kind of pretty commercial, straight shot, benefiting from the tech, the launch, the spin. Everything, that the new tech has, as you say, 5 miles an hour ball speed and, 600-700 RPMs of spin. Tons. So it's going to be worth a fair amount of difference.
Absolutely.
All right, let's hit a couple more, see what we get. Bernard Langer, helicopter finish.
Yeah.
Missed that one big time.
Okay, so let's take that as an example. If you miss that big time, it's still about as long as your best ones with the other one.
Was it really?
Yeah, so you were
low in the heel. That's what it was.
Yeah, low in the heel, which is, as we know, not good. But look at your spin. Your spin is still lower than some of your good and even a bit toe side strikes with R510. Yeah. Your ball speed is better than your very best center hit.
I know.
And club head speed is still about the same.
Interesting, isn't it?
So a miss hit with that driver is about as fast as a pure hit with R510. That sounded really good. Yeah,
it was a little bit toey, maybe just curve it a bit, but it's definitely hit it a bit better.
Yeah. Comfortably carrying a good 10, 15 yards further. Yeah, a little toe side. No, it wasn't terrible.
Not bad.
No. Obviously way lower spin.
Yeah, much lower spin.
But, I mean, you're 161 on that and you may not have hit it, too well.
Yeah. So this one flies out to about what? Yeah, this one flies sort of 285.
Yep.
Goes out to, whatever the ground conditions allow, and the other one was going total 285.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so much more ball speed, I guess, is the main difference. A
really
bit
big
spin.
difference, isn't there?
Yeah, huge difference. And your lower spin on your miss hits too.
I hung that a little bit, Matty, but that one was hit quite well.
I can say it sounded really. You got tons of carry out of that.
A little longer
to see your ball speed on that one. Yeah. 161.
161?
A little faster swing-wise, but not. Take a look at how these are shaping up average-wise. Okay, so you are a fraction more swing speed, I guess, about a mile or so more, but
yeah.
a mile doesn't account for...
I would say that's the accurate one, because I've seen this with a little bit with quad, Matty, that depending on how it reads the head, you can get a little variance on head shapes and how the speed is read.
And
that can often be just in the...
Smaller, right?
Yeah, slightly different. I would say the ball speed's the main one to pay attention to there.
Right.
Launch and spin comparable. It's just a big ball speed story, isn't it? It's an extra 25 yards on it feels like extra 15 yards on ball speed alone. Looking at that, they're 283 versus 268.
Yeah, I mean, a very similar. It's funny because the actual look of the flight is
not different, is it?
It's very similar, but just that R510 just came out of the air a bunch sooner than that one is.
It really has done.
All right, let's see.
We're going to hit a couple more with this guy. See, because the other one I didn't feel like it had any more in it. This
in terms of this
one
right?
feels like you can sort of give it something else. It's got a slightly different gear to it when you want it, the M3.
Yeah, that sounded really good. That'll be your longest carry. And that's part of it too, that the size of the head is giving you confidence to go after it a little bit more.
And in all honesty, I hate to miss the driver left.
Yeah, so you're trying to hit a little bit of a slight fade. Yeah.
If I can hit it down the center to right hand side, that would be my preference for sure.
Okay, I want to see you hit one more with this, because you're swinging maybe a little bit faster.
One more with
that guy. So try to do the same thing you just did, where you give it a little bit of an extra gear, and let's see how that holds up.
That went nowhere.
Yeah.
Carried what, 2.6?
Yeah, just
nearly 270.
It looked like, he definitely gave it some more speed, no question.
25 yards difference.
Yeah, so that is amazing. So you did get your club head all the way back up to 112.
Yeah.
So barely different than your last one. Way more spin, almost 3,000.
Yeah.
Your strike, again,
similar.
Ignore the graphic, it's basically center. 8 millimeters toe, 3 low is close enough. It's just lower efficiency in your ball speed cannot get anywhere near 160, can it?
Got to try and get 160.
All right.
This
what is it?
Go.
I guess find out what it takes to get to 160.
157. Honestly, the harder I hit it, the shorter it goes.
Yeah, true. Well, it's just
feels like
it's spinning more, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. No, it doesn't. And actually, it's interesting. I think the small head, Matty, once you put the small head under a bit more pressure, I feel like you could probably go a little bit more on the wayward side, because I'm like trying to get a little bit more out of that, but it just doesn't want to go.
Yeah, true enough. Oh, and certainly wouldn't have the same confidence in the miss hit, right?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, just the new head, like how you could go back.
Yeah,
how you could go back and play something that small.
I mean, someone would make the argument that it'd be tough to adjust to the 460, but once you've done it, you've done it.
Absolutely. Yeah, just different. That's 163. I'd have turned that a little bit.
I was going to say, you may not have hit it at your best, and it's just ball speed-wise is miles ahead.
I feel like I hit that one pretty good. Just closed the face a little bit, but...
Yep. So 0.9 more club head speed
not
than
much.
Prior, but almost a full 5 miles an hour more ball speed again, and a way worse strike, probably about 18 millimeters tower. Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's just amazing how much more, even if you want to say, you don't care about forgiveness, maybe you don't care about the size of the head, you've got to care about 5 miles an hour ball speed on average, no matter where you hit it.
Definitely.
Never mind low on the face would be even worse, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, without a doubt. This would be adjusted to slightly higher spin, so it's spun at 2100 for me. So I would do with it. I'd kind of tweak with the weights. We we just kind of generically set that up weight center. I would probably nudge the weights back a little bit on this.
Stabilize it a bit for
I would
you.
stabilize the spin rate a little bit because these have been 1600. I never like my driver to kind of get that low. So I would just tweak that around a little bit, take advantage of the ball speed, stabilize the spin, and you've got a heck of a driver. And you know, that's another thing with these older drivers. We couldn't do that.
Well, you can't dial it in beyond the fixed. I mean, certainly aren't changing loft or face angle beyond, I guess, the way the club builders used to kind of fool around with it.
That's right. Yeah, I mean,
in the tour vans.
Either it worked or it didn't. Whereas now with this, it's not so much that. You look at the elements that are good and then you tweak it around to really dial it in. That's obviously the benefit of today's modern clubs. So interesting.
Even at a slower speed, if someone was swinging, 140 average, if you're looking to pick up some distance and you've got older clubs, I think it's the term kind of distance for free. It's definitely there. If you've got 15-year-old driver, you're going to pick up. I mean, you picked up 25. Maybe that's a bit much because you're a faster swing speed. But you got to say most people at least 10, 15.
Oh, at least
something like that.
At least, absolutely. I mean, to be honest, I mean, if we continued down the fitting line, not just the testing line. We could probably make this fly 295 consistently, and be comfortably 25, 30 longer than that one by the time it's done. So, you could. Interesting
stuff. So 15 years later, it's still not the driver for you? You're going with a different model?
Still not in love with it. still, obviously classic, like the look of it, but, just not the one for me.
Awesome. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed a serious throwback. That was before Ian's tenure at Taylormade by, a year or so? Yeah,
that was, I believe that one was out around 2003, 2004.
Gotcha.
It was the R510TP. I started with Taylormade the year of, it was, I want to say the R7.
Okay, so just slightly after that.
Just after that, yeah.
Well, if this has piqued anyone's curiosity, hopefully about, I guess, how some older clubs might perform.
Definitely.
See if maybe you want us to do a follow-up with irons, Ian, you think? Maybe
an older model
hold
iron? Some older stuff. I mean, we do from time to time. We got this one as a trade-in, didn't? That was how it came through the door. So, we've got some Callaway Warbird fairway woods. Those would be interesting to test.
I would like to see that.
That's a classic. It's a real classic model. So.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. You see some tour players using that?
Yeah. Okay, so an old Big Bertha 1 iron. We've acquired one of those.
Is it right-handed? You got to do that.
This is what it's right. I get the short straw on that.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed a little bit of kind of a classic club test. Actually, leave us a bunch of comments if there's specific stuff you want us to test. If you've got something old you want to send us in, maybe you don't want to open the floodgates too much on the mail, but if there's some classic clubs we could maybe test, I'd like to do maybe just by category. If there's kind of performance with an older putter, maybe older wedges, older irons, older fairway wood. We can kind of run through that. Wouldn't it? Yeah, kind of what you can pick up by updating if you've been kind of away from the game.
Yeah, just to see what the technology has evolved into. This is really showing us what the technology has evolved into. So anyone on the fence can now see value in it. So I think this is the classic series.
A little bit of a classic series.
I like it.
Well, we're not going to go back to persimmon, but we'll try to keep it relevant to where someone might actually own a club that they might actually use.
Yeah, true.
Okay. Guys, thanks so much for watching. This was a little bit of a fun one for us, hopefully relevant for someone that has some older clubs. And we'll see you again soon.